Hi guys, this is Tim here at Mastercraft Studios, and on today's episode is R2-D2 coming to steal your gig. Up next. There's always been a lot of different music creators. Just because I'm making music doesn't mean that somebody else can't make great music, doesn't mean that somebody else other than that can make a different style of music. Everybody's got their own input. AI, in my view, is a clever imitation of what humans do, but it's also trained on human songs. So while it can sound very realistic, it is only that, an imitation. Human beings have emotions and experiences that an AI, whilst it can replicate it, can't quite understand it. Now, for the more budget-oriented films and stuff like that, they might use a bit of AI music in there. Some compositional jobs will be gone and lost to AI, and that's not amazing, but that's the way technology is going at the moment. Does that mean human beings still can't create amazing music? No, of course not. The great thing about music is it's unique to the individual experience. So an AI can do an imitation of an individual's experience, but only human beings can feel it. We had this problem in mastering for a long time, where someone sends a track to get mastered and then send it to an AI, and the AI can do a good job of it, but it doesn't have any feeling or emotion over the actual music. Now, you could argue the AI is close enough to where people can't distinguish it, but it's still just a clever imitation of what human beings do. The problem, of course, legally is it's drawing from millions of artists, and there's lots of copyright issues to do with that. And it's not amazing for musicians, especially ones that are struggling, because an AI can make a perfectly mixed track, just click a button and it's generated. But people don't really listen to AI music, even though it's out there at the moment. It's all over Spotify, it's all over some of the major platforms trying to fight back against it. But there's not a whole lot of people listening to AI bands thinking this is great. We're always looking for that human connection. So while AI can make a lot of music, in terms of its popularity, it's still very unpopular, even though it's everywhere. So I think that there's always a space for human creation. I don't think it's ever going to go away. It is scary as a musician to know that AI can create music that quickly. I mean, just put in a prompt and press a button and you've got music. I hope the future is as such that if it's AI or human created music, it's written down so that we know what we can discern for ourselves, because some of this AI stuff gets very realistic sounding. But I still think that human touch is always the thing that makes us come back to listen to a song over and over and over again. I've yet to come across an AI song where I've wanted to listen to it several times in a row. But my favourite bands like Metallica and Phil Collins and stuff like that, I will listen to for the rest of my life. So I don't think AI is capable of that yet. It might be in time, but I don't think it'll ever quite feel the same as a human being singing from their heart. And that's something that it can sound close to, but I don't think it'll ever quite be there. This is my personal opinion, and I might be wrong on this, but I think humans are always going to want other humans to connect with. Anyhow, in other news, Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, has invested heavily into Helsing to the tune of 600 million euros to support the making of AI tech for military drones and battlefield control. And musicians are very much against this, because if you're on Spotify as a platform and your music is being listened to through Spotify, you're essentially supporting Daniel Ek, and he's investing into military drones, and which will eventually lead to killing people. And musicians don't want that. So Daniel Ek is in hot water for that, as well as many other reasons. It was about a year ago, he said basically it's free, and it really isn't. And I had a bit of a qualm with that before, but this is the next thing he's doing now. He's investing 600 million euros into AI tech for military drones. And as a musician myself, I really can't get behind that. And musicians are starting to protest against Spotify and drop their catalog from Spotify because of it. And I can kind of see that as being a double-edged sword, because Spotify is still the biggest platform in the world. So if you want to be a major band or a major artist, you need to have your stuff on Spotify. But at the same time, if you put it onto Spotify, it's giving Daniel Ek the funds to fund this military thing. So I'm not a big fan of that. But if you're not on Spotify, you're kind of unseen. So you're kind of like between a rock and a hard place. So if anyone's protesting against Spotify, you have my support. And if anyone still uses Spotify because they have to, I completely understand. But Spotify as a platform is in a bit of hot water because of that. Obviously, most musicians tend to be very kind of peaceful. So I can't imagine a lot of people being particularly big fans of that one. Anyhow, unfortunately, I was off YouTube for a while, but the first frontman of metal, Ozzy Osbourne, has died a while back. And I was a big fan of his music growing up. I know he's a controversial figure in rock and roll, but his music was part of me growing up, and I'll miss him for that. And I remember watching the Osbournes as a kid too. I used to love that show. I don't know if anyone else used to watch it, but it was good fun. Kind of a guy that had been through everything and done everything and seen everything in rock and roll. And it's sad to have a guy like that pass. So, Ozzy Osbourne, salute. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this episode. I appreciate you guys watching. If anyone needs professional mixing and mastering, let me know at mastercraftstudios@gmail.com. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Talk soon.